welcome to LPod Academy training series. We are looking at Barnstaple Driving Test Centre routes today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We really do appreciate all of your support. Please listen to our Swan and Soto show. We can be found over on iTunes, and also check out our theory training program, which can be found at www.lpodtheorytraining.co.uk. Check out our blog at learnerpod.co.uk and find us on social media. And please remember, do like, share and comment below this video. If you like this content, please leave some comments so that we can make more content to help you in the future. And if you are looking to take an intensive driving course, please visit our website. Coming soon, partial driving test first time course and the mum and dad driving school parent trainer course. And also an update on Facebook theory training group LPod Theory Community is now open. Barnstaple driving test routes. Barnstaple has a slightly above average test pass rate of 48.4%. The national average equates to around 45%, so you're in good hands when taking a driving test in Barnstaple. The test centre address is found on the screen, and it does have its own theory test centre, which can be found in Castle Street. Barnstaple has lots of dual carriageways and rural roads and plenty of roundabouts to help practice, nurture your driving skills. Please check out these videos and remember to leave a comment below to let us know what you think and how we can improve them in the future. Before you take your driving test, you should follow this advice. Make sure you have your photo driving licence with you at all times, because you won't be able to take your test without it. Make sure you have a roadworthy car. You need to check your tyres are in good condition, your lights are all working, including your brake lights and windscreen wipers. Do not arrive more than 5 minutes before your practical test, whether you're going with an instructor or a parent trainer. You should also reverse park your car into one of the bays, ready for the start of your driving test. You should decide whether you want your accompanying driver with you. They can sit in the back, but they are not allowed to speak with you. If you're taking the test in your own car, make sure you have a valid car insurance and a spare internal mirror for the examiner to use. Please make sure you also have valid L plates on the front and back of your vehicle. And just remember, before your test, just breathe and go and pass it. And good luck. And we are off. We are leaving Barnstaple Driving Test Centre in this industrial estate along this residential, well, built up road. As you can see, there's plenty of WLers. And a part of your driving, where should you not park? You shouldn't park on WLers. So what you want to avoid is parking on them. So do take note that you do not park on WLers ever. We just passed a no stopping sign. Okay, so there's a couple of maps on the left there. So when choosing to turn at a junction, you should always choose the correct lane to turn. We are turning right at this junction, so you can probably notice that we are in the left-hand lane, and both of the road markings suggested that we can turn right in both lanes. Now, one word of advice: where possible, always be in the left option. The left option is the normal lane that everyone should be in, and not the overtaken lane. So if you have two lefts, be in the left option. If the road goes ahead, be in the left option. Okay, so we're following the road ahead, and now the road, we are turning right at this junction. And we're in the left option of the two roads. Okay, so the left lane goes left and the two right hand lanes go right. So you can notice that we've got the separation distance from the vehicle in front. It is called tyres to tarmac. You should always have enough space between you and the car ahead of you, just in case that they break down. Now you can also see that he's sat on his foot brake there, which is not good practice. You should always make sure that you use your handbrake, because otherwise you're going to be facing a larger foot brake bill, and maintain your vehicle cost will kind of skyrocket there. Okay, so as we go through the junction, we are scanning the road from the right to the left to make sure that all the cars are sat still and keeping a healthy left option. You can see the arrows on the right hand side are coming in, and they're suggesting that the road will merge to one lane. We're checking the right as before the lane emerges, so that we are now single file and we have merged safely. Typical residential road, we have a cycle lane on the left. It's kind of a green colour. You can see the arrows and the paint of the cyclist on the floor there. Lots of hatch markings, kind of dividing lanes up for right turns a bit further down the road. You can see one coming up here where people can turn left and right in different places, various places. Okay, so following the arrow that says ahead, and obviously coming up to another red light. So when we're slowing down, we always check our rear view mirror, just make sure that we always know what's going on behind us at all times. And again, we use our handbrake when we're waiting for more than 5 seconds. That's what I advise my students when we are dealing with, waiting around. A lot of learners do ask, when should I use my handbrake? Do I have to use it every time I stop? The answer is no, you don't have to use it every time you stop, as long as you always maintain control of the car. However, if there's long periods of time, then you should be using your handbrakes. It's a safer option. Going ahead at a crossroads, we should scan from right to left to make sure that there's no cars that are jumping their red lights. You can see the double yellows on the left. There's pedestrians on both sides. Lots of hazards, kind of keeping an eye out of everybody around us. Okay, so some zigzags, no overtaking in the zone of the zigzags at crossings. Coming up to a roundabout where we're going to select the left hand lane and scanning from the right, and then we're going to go first exit at this next roundabout. Okay, you notice our road position is far left and there is space on the right hand side of us for someone else to pass. It's very important to keep a very strong road position when dealing with roundabouts. A lot of learners can do what we call straight line them, and of course this is when you start off on the left but then don't curve with the outer edge and end up being in the right hand position. Again, this is not good practice and could result in an accident. So we're kind of in peep and creep type traffic driving now, so a lot of clutch control use. You can see that we are maintaining our distance from the vehicle in front. So just waiting for the traffic to slowly move on. Just edging forward with the cars, banking a little bit of progress. Okay, so bit of traffic going on at the moment. You should always drive about a drain width away or a metre if the road allows it, a little bit more wider. Some pedestrians on the right hand side about to cross the road, so again we've got to drive with due care and attention, and always be ready to stop if the situation requires us to. Holding a little bit back for the car ahead of us. More people crossing the road, and of course people do cross the road in unexpected places. As a driver, you should always be prepared to stop at any time just in case anyone steps out. So you should always be familiar with your foot controls. We're about to turn right. So again, we've got to make sure that we get our bonnet in position of the new road so that we do not cut the corner on a blind junction. If you did steer too early into the side road, you would of course get a serious fault because the examiner will be thinking, what if? As you can see, the road has got lots of parked cars. It's quite a narrow road, so your speed should be quite low at this stage. And as you come nearer the parked cars, you can see the road is clear. So before you commit, make sure you scan the road in good time. And if you're not able to leave a meter from the parked cars, don't panic, as long as your speed is really low and you're in control of the car. In this scenario, you should always be in the middle of the road. You can't kind of be left or right, because obviously the road doesn't allow it, and you need to balance out the hazard problem. As we come up to the end of the road, we're going to turn right. We would be scanning the road both ways, twice or 3 times, 2 or 3 times, and looking for any hazards really far in the new road. Okay, so we're in a new residential road, and we have got some parked cars on the left, some pedestrians walking on the pavement area there. Some oncoming traffic. Typical residential road, 30 limits, so we've got lots of 20s around us, as you can see as you're passing the side roads. If you look to the right and left, there's lots of 20 zones. So it's more of a through route, this one, but again, you should be constantly keeping your eyes on the parked cars on the left as you make progress down this road. A couple of box junctions, so again, if there is a lot of traffic, make sure that you keep those clear, because you don't want to be left in one of those. That would again go against the highway code. Okay, going through the crossing, looking up the road ahead, we have got more parked cars on the left. We've got keep left bollards, so that's kind of preventing you from overtaking at key moments in driving, especially if you're driving at night time. Coming to red light, obviously you've got to keep clear there, that's keeping the junction clear. The lights have just gone to green. We are turning the corner to the right, keeping a wide angle to the left there, and now turning to the left, keeping that meter from the curb at all times. Obviously we slowed down a little bit as we come around that corner, because it's quite a bumpy corner, and now we're into speed bumps. So this particular road has single yellow lines. What do they mean? Why are they not double? If you look at the signage on the lamppost, you may find the times where you're not allowed to park. Obviously you can't see it on the camera. Different areas have different times. It could be 8 till 6 Monday to Friday, or 8 to 12 Monday to Saturday. You need to look at the times if you do wish to park. Slowing down for the Mini, making sure that we can see past the back end of that blue car that was there. Okay, back to double yellows on this particular road, slightly uphill, quite a steep hill. Okay, more speed bumps and passing pedestrians on the left hand side. So as we come up to the end of this road, we are planning to turn to the right, and obviously scanning both ways. Lots of parked cars, slightly downhill. A couple of people, pedestrian crossing the road, cars turning. Now that car is quite near his give way markings, so obviously if we were continuing, then obviously we'd have to be careful there. Nice and slow around that corner, just in case there was anyone crossing the road in the new road. Now this is a very slim road. It is a two-way road, but again, you'd need passing places. And it leads you around the corner. What a nightmare. They didn't plan for houses and cars, did they, when they built these streets? Now you can probably see my speed is very, very slow. Some pedestrians walking up the hill, so just giving way to those. And then obviously manoeuvring around the cars to give plenty of space. You couldn't do the speed limit on a road like this. You'd have to be very slow, 15 or less probably. Obviously what you wouldn't do in roads like this, you need to scan the road to make sure that there's no oncoming traffic before you commit to them. And obviously you need to find parking places or passing places on the left or right. It's quite quiet actually at the moment, isn't it? Not many kind of hazardous cars approaching. Come up to a normal kind of junction now, where we plan to turn left, scanning the road, and giving way to traffic in the new road. Okay, as we come down this road and pick our speed up, watching for the cyclist on the right there. Obviously come up with some traffic lights, leaving plenty of space with us and the vehicle in front. So this is a crossroads, quite a major crossroads in Barnstaple, quite a busy crossroads. Depending on which way you're headed, you know, you do need to make sure that you give way to oncoming traffic if you plan to turn right. Typical road markings at crossroads are box junctions. So you need to know where you can place your car, etc. We're obviously heading left on this occasion. There are 2 lanes. The learner driver is slightly over the middle centre white line there, as you can see, so she just moved back. Crossing, lane's just crossed, but the lights could still change because she's obviously crossed the road before the lights changed. Selecting the right hand lane to turn right at the roundabout. Into the roundabout because the road is clear from the right hand side, and then bearing back to the left as we exit the roundabout. Following the road ahead, landing in a left only lane. Glancing to the right, making sure there's nothing on the right hand side. We have a bus lane on our right. Watching out for pedestrians. We could see him on the approach, so we held back a little bit further between us and the car ahead of us. As we move off, we check all 3 mirrors to make sure it's all clear. Build a speed up, make progress. Very important to make progress when out on your driving test. The examiners don't want a slow driver. They don't particularly want you to be fast or over the limit, of course, but you need to be getting up to speed and getting on with your journey. As we follow the road ahead, we've got a red light coming up, and what is the mirror you should check when slowing down? You should be very familiar with this. If you're not familiar with it, it is your rear view mirror. You need to know what's happening behind you. And you need to kind of brace yourself if someone is not slowing enough behind you, because obviously you could have an accident or be hit from behind. We're following the road ahead. There's some zigzags from the crossing there. Lots of double yellows in Barnstaple. Lots of pedestrians, lots of parked cars. Lots of town driving, really. Nice roads though, well marked, very good road markings. Obviously we're going to turn left at this junction, so obviously we're given plenty of observations all the way round to make sure it's all clear, following the road. You should always look for new speed signs or speed limits in new roads before you turn, after you turn, and as you're driving along the new road, just make sure there's no changes so that you're always up to speed as to what you need to do. And following the road ahead. And obviously slowing because we are coming up to a bend and driving down this road. Back into an industrial area. And making sure that we keep a good road position from the curb at all times. It's a speed bump that we need to slightly slow down for, just to make sure that we don't rock over it too fast. Maintain that good road position around the corner. More speed bumps. What gear would you use for speed bumps? What speed would you approach them at? What is ideal? What's safe? Okay, we plan to turn right, hence why we've positioned ourselves to turn right. 2 checks each way, make sure the road is clear. Passing the Costa Coffee restaurant on the right hand side. A couple of cars kind of pulling out into car parks ahead of us, made us slow down. So again, they made us slow down, so they are hazardous. You do not want to make anyone slow unnecessarily on your driving test. So be aware that you don't pull out in front of people just like they did. That's not good. Keep them to the left lane. So we have two options, left or ahead. Checking to the right, make sure it's clear. Coming out into a dual carriageway. You can see it's a dual because obviously the bit of land on the right hand side dividing you from the oncoming traffic. So this is where we pick up our speed now. Most test routes will have some form of dual carriageway or country lane or some kind of speed limit above like 40 miles an hour. Now we're coming up to quite a complex junction. You can see by the road sign that we just passed, it's kind of a square shape. Okay, so our intention is to turn right at some stage. Now obviously when you're learning to drive, your driving instructor will get you familiar with this particular junction and turn left, ahead and right at it from different various angles. Lane discipline is crucial, so you need to know your boundaries. In this case we're looking at the curb line and the line to the left of the bonnet. So we don't want to cross that line at any time because this would not be productive with driving. During this moment we would obviously have used the handbrake. So as we pull forward, we'll be aware of the box junction. And now we're selecting the right hand lane. So this lane will lead us away from the main carriageway. And we will go around the corner. And then we will select one of the lanes that take us ahead. So with most junctions, you know, if you're starting right, you will have to feed back to the left hand lane at some point, so you need to look for the markings when this allows you. Now obviously we are in the fast lane. Okay, you can see the road is coming in from the right hand side, so the car has undertaken us on the left. Now what would have been best is if the learner actually selected the left lane with a good left wing mirror check before moving across the lanes, but this is okay because these two lanes merge quite quickly. The road has become a single carriageway quite soon. A little bit of damage limitation, left is always best, but on this occasion it did come in quite soon and the driver was aware of the vehicle on the left, so they responded positively to that situation. So if that was you, then obviously you've got to kind of be aware that you might have to give way to the left hand side. So when driving along a road like this, what is the speed limit? What is the standard limit, and has it been changed? Has it gone from a 40 or 50, for example? Okay, so we're selecting the left hand lane. Some traffic up ahead, so slowing in good time. Always maintaining a healthy following distance, making sure that we don't ever get too near vehicles. At this particular junction we're turning left. Again, look for any new signs, no right turn sign there, so it'd be difficult to turn right over the concrete middle section there. Okay, so we're following this road along, and there was a new speed sign. Did you see it? What speed is my driver driving at right now? 40s and 50s are easier to identify because they are repeated, because they're not standard limits. So do look for repeat signs, the little signs that you see on the lampposts. Okay, so we are ending this test route. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you can take away a few tips from our learner driver. There were a few mistakes along the way. Obviously you won't have seen all of them being an observer of this footage, but we are going to park up on the left because during active times we're not allowed in the test centre directly. When you're going for your test, good luck, and be sure to check out part 2 and part 3 of the test routes in Barnstaple. Until next time, take care.